Welcome to Truish, your soft news bulletin delivered hot off the press to you by me, Daisy Maskell. And joining me this week as my expert correspondent is Stuart Laws. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. It's raining and that feels bleak.
How are you in the rain, Stuart? What's your favourite weather type?
Favourite weather type is dry snow.
Dry snow is a nice one.
Yeah.
Do you know, we haven't had snow in the UK in so long.
Now, I split my time between New York and London, and New York is currently, as of recording date, covered in snow.
Oh, you are fabulous. So what are you doing here then?
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, I've been back a couple of days, and immediately it was that British rain, which you go, oh, this is not very heavy.
Yeah.
And you walk for a minute and you're like, I'm drenched.
Yeah.
And it just feels bleak and sad.
What are the biggest, would you say, cultural differences between New York and London, seeing as you are someone that splits quite a lot of time between the two?
So I am the foremost expert on this. Yeah. I think that they are largely pretty similar in many ways, London and New York. Mm. New York is way dirtier.
Really?
And there's not so much crack in London.
Okay.
That's my take.
Fine. Okay. Yeah. That's fun.
But it's so cold over there.
It is. It gets like
it got to minus 20.
Right? Jesus.
And they wouldn't even call it that because they're idiots with their temperature. They'd call that like 7.
Yeah. What is going on with that?
Yeah.
That situation. Have you still cracked the code on that?
No.
Or is it just something that still confuses you?
I have no idea. It like the car temperature said 7. I was like, okay. Stepped outside, almost died.
Jeez. Yeah, no, that'd take me a second as well. Well, thank you so much for being here and spending the time that you have in London with us today. Stuart, I'm really intrigued to know what is on your docket this week.
I went furniture shopping.
Did you? This is one of my favourite pastimes.
Is it?
I love a bit of furniture and I love a bit of shopping.
I don't like being helped in stores. Mm-hmm. I just want to go in and just be like, right, I know sort of roughly what I want. And if it gets to an emergency, I will ask someone, where's this?
Yep.
And furniture stores, everyone, I think because all of the people work on commission, they're desperate to get your attention. And I arrived there before my girlfriend got there. And so I was walking around, not a very big store, for like 10 minutes while waiting for her. And the amount of people that were trying to get my business. I was like, no, I'm okay, thank you. But furniture shopping is nice because you're like, all right, I'll sit on this. Yeah. I'll sit on that. Lovely bit of business. Long story short, my girlfriend's old sofa was disgusting. Mm-hmm. She's very much the idiot husband of the relationship. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to get rid of her old sofa. I don't know why. It was making me ill, and I've never been allergic to anything. And I was like, I think your sofa's making me ill.
Hold on a second, Stuart. So just talk me through what was disgusting about, because it's giving someone or something is living inside of it.
It felt like that.
About it?
So I'd done so much research on what could be making me allergic. Anytime I was in New York, there would be times where I was like, why do I have a headache the whole time?
Oh my God.
Maybe it's the crack. Maybe. But I then was like, oh, maybe it's this ragweed, which we don't have in London. I was like, maybe that's it, and I'm allergic to that. It's not, because I realised one time when I got into town, I was like, I feel a little bit ill, so I'm going to sleep on the sofa tonight so I don't get you ill. And then woke up in the morning like more ill.
With pneumonia.
Than ever. Yeah. And I was like, I think it's a sofa. I think I've worked it out. She then got rid of it. She put it on Craigslist, as they call it. It went immediately, and I was like, this feels bad. You know, like when you're like, if you're getting rid of a dog that's evil, you should warn the new people that are taking it.
Okay, yeah.
I should say, this sofa, by the way, is possessed.
Yep, okay.
I didn't. I kept quiet. I'm sure they're not allergic to it.
So it got taken? Got
taken. Immediately, I felt better. I felt so much better. Hoovered the whole place. Felt great. Then obviously we had to go and buy a new sofa. Anyway, when we finally ended up speaking to the store person, the salesperson, I made her laugh. And she was like, you're very funny. And my girlfriend then spent the next 20 minutes desperately trying to make her laugh in a way that she felt affronted of, like, because my girlfriend, she's a comedian as well. And she was just like, this fucking guy has made her laugh. And the store person was like, oh, you're so funny. And I think the British accent was doing a lot of heavy lifting.
I see.
My girlfriend spending 20 minutes trying to make a salesperson laugh to no avail as well.
Bless her. That is hilarious. Furniture shopping, I agree. I would kind of like to be left on my own, but I do always feel bad with shop assistants because I used to work in retail. That was my first job. I didn't work on commission. I think I was just 16 years old and
sure. Yeah.
had that sparkle in my eye.
Yeah.
Life wasn't as depressing.
What
as
were you
as
selling?
it is now. I was selling clothing. I worked in River Island.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can't get commission on that.
You can't get commission there.
Yeah. Man, does River Island still exist?
That's the age-old question, Stuart. It is still existing. I don't know who their customer is. I can't say that I've ever seen anyone out and about in public and asked them where an item of their clothing is from and they've said River Island.
No, because it feels, for me, here's the progression. I went from Matalan as a teenager, I think, and then when I started buying my own clothes, when I got a job, I went Topshop when I was like 17, 18.
Yep.
Then I think 19, 20 was River Island because I was like, that's the mature, that's for a maturer person. And then I think I went to H&M because I was just like, that's cheaper and easier.
Yeah.
And it's more normcore, which is my vibe. And then I don't even know where I shop now. Anything that the Instagram algorithm serves me,
I agree.
I'm like, oh, I guess I have that.
Are you a TikTok shopper?
No, that scares me.
Me too. I call myself a selective eclectic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Frasier.
So I like things, and I fill my home with tons of interesting, wonderful things.
Great.
All over the world, but I hate clutter. So I'm very selective about my shit.
My girlfriend is the same.
You need to talk to your girlfriend about this phrase, selective eclectic, because I think there's a lot of us out there that we appreciate living in a home that isn't just like white walls and grey couch, but we don't like dust and clutter.
Oh, she likes dust.
Does she like dust?
Well, that's what made me allergic.
I think dust kind of comes with the territory a little bit, but it's more just like I like a lot of things, but all of the things that I have in my environment have to sort of mean something or bring me some sort of joy.
Yes.
So TikTok shop scares me because I fear that it just seems like a dark hole of shit. It just seems like one of those things that the more you buy, the more you sort of get served and you end up in this big infinite pit of tele shopping.
I'm like the same. I don't want anything now. Like I'm difficult to buy for because I'm like, well, I'll just buy the thing.
Yeah.
And also like the stuff I want now in general is more expensive than what it was in the past.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want to fill my house with like little knickknacks and things like that. I want to be like, oh, that's a cool thing. And it costs 400 quid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just save up, buy it, have it. And it feels, my mum is always like, and what can we get for your birthday or for Christmas? And I'm like, I have no idea. I really, like she bought me paint.
Oh,
because I said I need to repaint the bathroom and I need like mold proof paint.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So she got me paint.
That's really sweet. We love a practical gift. Do you know what? I'm partial to a sock. I'll take a sock. I'll take a pajama. You can never have enough.
Yeah, I will take a sock.
You know?
At any point.
This actually leads me really nicely into something on my docket this week.
Okay.
And I want to get your opinion on this. So I came across this lady on TikTok actually who is selling PDFs to 2026 brides, which allow them to track who bought what gift and how much it cost on a spreadsheet. And apparently this process of couples having a PDF where they track who bought what gift and how much they spent on them is more common than you'd expect. How do you feel about this?
People have got to stop this. Monetary value is different for whoever. You can't have that spreadsheet if you don't also then have all of their annual earnings and their outgoings and essential things to be like, oh, actually, that it's just a ludicrous thing.
Yep.
A friend of mine, Daman Bamra, who I have a podcast with called Weak Minded, he wrote a thing when he was at university. He did economics, I think. I can't remember, but he wrote an economics blog, which was to do with the economics of gift giving.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. His essential point on it is that it's actually sort of, it's not good doing gifts because it just creates an imbalance. And so it has to be very specific. And like a wedding registry, man, I've never felt more guilty on like coming away from weddings. You're like, oh, I haven't done that thing, I need to go on. And then you look at everything that they want and you're like, well, I'm one of the last to buy, and now all the options is like an £800 blower for a fireplace.
Yeah, it goes from one extreme to the other, doesn't it? It's like either like, the £800 blower, or it's like 35 quid like teaspoon.
Yeah,
and it's well, I'm not going to buy you 1 teaspoon, am I? So then I've got to buy the set of 6, which is ridiculously priced, or I pay £1,000 on something that is just too extravagant. Yeah, I get it.
I've already spent £400 coming to your wedding.
Weddings are getting out of control, right?
Yeah,
I just feel like it's just insane at the moment. Just the production around weddings and the stress and the cost is, it is just insane. You're not married, right?
Not married, no.
Are you planning to get married?
Well, there will be travel implications for getting married. So like it is on the agenda because I'm on a work visa there at the moment, but that is every 3 years. So at some point we'll have to do it so that I can get a green card.
Do you have any plans for your own wedding? What would your wedding be like?
I would genuinely, if there wasn't legal ramifications, never get married. It's not ever interested me. I also don't, and this is going to be a shocking thing to say for someone who's a stand-up comedian, I don't like to be the centre of attention.
Same. Stuart,
the
idea of doing all of this like first dance and speeches and even just like vows in front of other people shit. Like, I'm just
Oh man, Fern Brady is an incredible stand-up comedian, and she has a bit about that of like describing it, and I'm butchering this. Watch her stand-up, a sex tape for my emotions.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. It's also, I'm someone that I've said this so many times before, I don't love organised fun. And this just feels like an organised display of emotion. So even the stuff that is like supposed to be private between the two of you, like, you know, a lot of people do these like first looks now. So they'll meet their partner and you'll see each other before you go and see your friends and family. But then there's like a photographer there, and then like someone's parent crying around the door in the corner. Like even just that as a situation, that the organisation of all of that, I'm just not comfortable with it as a person.
Yeah, I'd be second guessing every single thing. Also trying to be like, is this what my partner is wanting me to react?
Yeah.
And like, and then also being like, and now this person's there. There's the +1 of a friend who I don't even know that well, but who've sort of been getting on recently. It feels awkward to not have them here. And I've now got to do this sort of like play, which is, look how much I love this person. I struggle with Valentine's Day as well for the same reason, where I'm like, it feels embarrassing to be like, it's like state mandated love. And I'm like, it would be nice just to do a random thing and be like, there's a nice expression of how much I care about you. We actually had a big talk about it. We were in Burlington, Vermont doing some comedy shows. We were driving back and we were actually having a chat about it. And I think she was a bit nervous to sort of discuss it because she was like feeling some anxiety around it. And I don't think she's someone who would get married if it wasn't, legal stuff to do with it and like the benefits of that. And I don't know whether or not saying that out loud on a podcast negates the entire wedding in the eyes of the US government.
I think they're changing their mind with the wind at the moment.
Yeah. We basically came to the realization neither of us are like marriage people. And I was like, to me, I'd always thought there'd be a nice thing to do, which is like after like 5 years of being in a relationship or 10 years to have a party that's like celebrating what you have done.
So nice.
Rather than promising to do stuff in the future.
So nice.
And so that is something that I would like to do. So maybe if I got married, it might just be a very small private thing.
Yeah.
And then a few years down the line, be like, we did it. We've survived for 5 years, for 10 years, whatever.
That's the way to do it. How are you with attention on your birthday?
Hate it. Almost had a panic attack in a restaurant once because my mum, very lovely, organised for the birthday cake to be brought out by the waiter. And everyone was singing, and I was like, this is hell on earth.
Can I give you a top tip as someone that also really doesn't like attention on birthdays and big celebrations? If anyone ever brings out a cake or decides to sing happy birthday to you in public, just sing along, because then everyone watching doesn't know whose birthday
That's good. Yes.
That's my top tip. So as the birthday cake's coming out, happy birthday to you. And everyone that looks around doesn't know, the worst. Oh, I can't even remember the restaurant. I think it was like maybe a Frankie and Benny's or a TGI Fridays that do the mascots. Jesus
Yeah. Did we have a similar growing up? Because I remember going to those places for birthdays as a kid, and it being like, to me, I was like, this is incredible fine dining. And then I've been back to a Frankie and Benny's like a few years ago, and I was like, oh my God.
I think it felt quite elegant.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they used to be one of the only establishments at the time that would have fabric napkins. They always had like a nicely folded fabric napkin with a big steak knife. And I think probably as like 6 or 7 year olds, we probably thought that was
big
top
steak
class,
knife
right?
was really that. You were like,
big wooden
oh my
handle.
God. They took away my previous all metal knife and replaced it with this one. Oh, how many Michelin stars this place got?
I love those things that when I think back, like when you were kids, that you used to just assume was a sign of wealth. Did you ever get this when you were visiting like friends' homes? If they had like one of those double fridges, like the big double fridges with the water dispenser, that was like, bloody hell, their parents must be doing well.
We did that because we'd save up. I say we, my mum and my dad would save up for like 5 years, and then we'd do like a Florida holiday.
Yeah.
And then we'd be in like a house there, and they'd have those fridges. And it was like, we basically for like 2 weeks got to live in like luxury. Yeah. And we could not believe what was out there. And I do think it's like a good grounding.
Me too.
Like that I can eat the worst food and feel like it's nice.
Yep.
Like the worst prepared food, because that was like, as a kid, I thought it was good food. So now I'm like, when I get good food, I'm like, whoa. Oh, here we go.
Like corned beef.
Yeah. Oh my God, my dad loved corned beef.
Me too.
Yeah.
I remember there was this pie that used to get made. I think, my mum must have made it. It was like a corned beef pie, and it would have like onions and mash. And,
Yeah.
What is going on, Stuart? Are we like long lost soul sisters?
Yeah, and it felt, and you're like, well, I guess this is good food.
Yeah, God, we're wartime children.
Yeah.
What did you used to spend your rations on? God, yeah, those were the bloody days, weren't they? That's funny. Yeah.
Did you ever go to a Hungry Horse? Now, I imagine that you're probably too young for it.
What was it? A restaurant?
Yeah, so you basically, like the ranking, you remember Beef Eaters?
Yes,
and Harvesters? I would say they were around the same tier, maybe one slightly above the other. Below that was a Hungry Horse. Below that was like a Little Chef or
yeah.
That was like the ranking.
No, I haven't been to a Hungry Horse. I'm assuming they're not around anymore.
No, they're not. But it would be like the steak would come out, and my dad only liked steak very well done. I didn't know that was bad, so I would just always order it, and then was like, oh, this is, and it would come out, and it was so like thick and chewy. It was just awful. These little wet, not even warm peas. Horrendous meals. And I go, God. Thank you for giving me that in my childhood so that I didn't think that there was better out there. Yeah. So when I've discovered it now in later life, I'm like, okay.
Your mind's blown.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's good. It's a character building for sure. That's very funny. Next up, Stuart, on my list this week. This was from a study, actually, that I came across. Movie ratings might soon be decided by the smell of the audience watching. So a group of scientists have analysed the air inside movie theatres to test whether the odours produced by an audience indicate the levels of violence, sex and drug use in the film on screen. And apparently they saw a difference in the air samples, particularly when sexy scenes played, and suggest this type of test could be used to generate movie ratings in the future. So
hang on. That basically they're just measuring to see if the cinema smells of cum.
Literally, right?
Oh, it smells like a weird swimming pool in here.
I was going to say, what does the room smell like at some of your shows? And would you like...
Smell of cum. The audience are just constantly jacking it. It's odd. I understand it.
Would you like this type of rating system to be introduced to rate your sort of performance?
No, that would terrify me.
Really?
I want to go away. Actually, I guess I am in the industry where you get the most obvious and immediate feedback. Yeah. Like if you're a musician, you play, I think you can probably vibe whether or not people are not enjoying it. But the amount of gigs I've been to that I've been enjoying, but you're also having a bit of a chat and you're listening. Comedy, you cannot hide from a joke not going well.
Yeah.
In Burlington, wonderful comedy club, the Vermont Comedy Club, there was one particular person that laughed so much at one particular joke that I then went on a riff talking about how I am searching, my white whale is having a really fun gig, it's going really well, but then one joke only makes one person laugh. And they're laughing, they're losing their minds. But everyone else is like, no, I don't really get it. That's the dream. I would love to have that.
Yeah, I wonder what they'd be secreting.
Yeah. What's the smell if it's violent?
So I think what they're testing partly is the CO2 that is being emitted. So I'm assuming that they would see more CO2 or higher levels of CO2 for violent scenes, because I think we would be breathing, or an audience would be breathing maybe more heavy.
Okay, yeah.
Which indicates fear. But yeah, the sex scenes, they haven't indicated what odour they were testing for there. But I think we can all use our imagination. Jesus.
I guess there must be something to do with it, because like people are very susceptible, more susceptible to smell than we realise.
Yeah.
And so there must be all of those sort of things. There must be evolutionary holdovers from all of those things. But that seems wild, because there's too many competing smells in there. There's hot dogs, there's popcorn, there's people burping. Like, does someone burping because of their fizzy drink affect the results?
Yeah, I know. I would love to know what their what they factored into their research. This actually plays on one of my worst fears, which is the fact that as humans we are just constantly secreting odours and gross things. But the thing that icks me out the most is, you know, when you see condensation on like a double-decker bus windows, and it's like you then become aware that we're just these fleshy skin things that are just like breathing, and it's just so gross. What grosses you out about humans the most, or is there anything in particular that you're just like, oh God?
No, I do agree with
It's
that.
vile, right?
I find it tough. I've come on this podcast, this is Truish. I'm not a big fan of farting.
Yeah.
I find I accept that it's a real thing. I accept that people have got to do it, but I find it a bit like, ugh. And
as in you farting yourself, or just the whole concept of farting in general?
The concept of it.
Yeah.
All of that I do find a bit ick. And also the condensation thing, got recommended to go into this lovely like bakery, like cafe, and went to it, and the whole front windows were all steamed up. And I did genuinely think, I don't want to go in there.
I know.
And it was nice in there, but it creates that weird clam in the air.
It just icks you out, right? Oh,
Yeah.
It's horrid. No, I agree on the farting front. I do think like I'm not too like uptight. I think I have I think we've both kind of established with the wedding thing, just quite a fluid, relaxed approach to relationships in general, and to my relationship. So I'm not uptight, and with what my partner does and doesn't do. But the one thing I think should always be sacred in a relationship is just not farting all the time in front of people. This is making me sound and feel like a Stepford wife. But
hey,
it's
I
just
join
something
you.
that I'm just like, I just feel like that's something you should keep to yourself.
Look,
know?
That I think is my purest version of it. I do think it occasionally is funny. I think we've got to acknowledge that it is a funny thing. But like I am like, and look, I hope this isn't throwing under the bus. I think she's probably pretty confident she'd talk about it. She loves a fart.
Yeah.
Chloe loves a fart.
Yeah.
Put that on your clip. Chloe Radcliffe loves a fart. But we've gotten to the point now where I'm like, you know, like sometimes if we're like talking or we're having like a nice time, it's actually not ideal for that to be interrupted by a fart or a burp or something like that. Like it's possible to hold it in.
Yeah.
If especially if we're having a serious conversation, or we're just having a nice time, and then a little burp, and then she'll go, "Excuse me," and I'm like, you know, I have the inclination as well, but I will suppress it.
Have you ever gotten into an argument over this before?
No, we haven't. But like she will, we'll get into bed, and then she'll suddenly get out of bed and walk away, and I go, "You farting?"
You've got a designated
So
caller.
she's now like, that's like been a development for her.
We kind of have that as well, where he just sort of sticks his arse out the crack of the door. Because
it.
do you know what it is? I think it's not so much about sort of like being uptight or controlling, but it's more about when you live with your partner or you spend a lot of time with them, you are just very intermingled with their life and their routine. And just one thing that I want to keep sacred to myself is each other's body fluids and odours as much as we can, you know. And if you can control it, then
sure, there are going to be times where you can't.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But in the times that you can, I think it's just a line of respect in a relationship.
And I know that paints both of us as very uptight. We are the uptight wives. They're the idiot husbands.
Oh dear. How are you with peeing in pools. Have you ever peed in a pool?
Never
Stuart?
peed in a pool.
Yeah. I think we were served the same propaganda as kids.
Yes, yeah.
But were you always scared that it would have that chemical in the pool that would then reveal that you were the one that
never pee in a pool?
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm not even peed in the sea.
I've peed in the sea before.
Yeah.
I will admit I've peed in the sea, and I've got a bit of a routine down, but I'll make sure that no one else is sort of around me.
Sure, yeah.
But that's only if it's like I'm in desperate need, there's no toilets around, and you're doing one of those like, you know, those like bareback 12 hours on the beach with like a blanket and a packet of sandy crisps.
Yes.
Then I'll go in the sea. But other than that, I like to keep it civilized.
Let's keep it civilized. Also, I'd say that public toilets at beaches are maybe some of the most distressing.
Oh, they are, right?
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, they are.
Because it's a combination of like there's water everywhere and but like liquids all sort of and sand.
Yeah, and a nappy.
It's something.
Oh, it's vile.
Everyone goes a bit more feral at the beach. Yeah. People are digging holes for no reason.
Yeah.
Something weird is happening in those toilets.
Are you more of a pool person than a beach person?
I don't like the beach because I don't like sand.
Yeah.
I find sand stressful. If I know that I'm there and that I'm set in, that I'm just there at the beach and that is my day, and then I can even walk back to a hotel, fine, I can do that. But if I'm like, I got to go back in a car after this and drive somewhere else, no thank you. I'm not putting my socks on when they're covered in sand.
Oh, it's the worst, right? Your feet are like half wet too.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh dear. Well, Stuart, you've been such a joy to have on today. Tell me about what's coming up for the rest of the year for you. You've got a podcast as well, right?
Yep. So my podcast, Weak Minded, it's just a weekly podcast, 20-30 minutes, just me and Daman having a catch up about things. We talk about all sorts of ridiculous stuff. The latest episode we were talking about, Daman is Sikh, and we're talking about a remake of Cool Runnings, but with just a Sikh bobsled team. Very funny stuff. So yeah, we'll be doing that weekly. And then, off to a few festivals. I'll be doing a lot more shows in the US, then the Edinburgh Fringe.
Amazing.
Just a constant stream of gigs and, stupid things left, right and centre. There's a show I do called Stuart Laws as Michael Caine saying never for 1 hour. And that is based on the scene in Batman Begins when Alfred says never. And I think it's the wildest line reading of anything ever. And I did a video that went viral in 2020 of him trying to get that right, of going like, never! Christopher Nolan's voice being like, cut, let's go again on that was wild. Then turned it into a live show with Nish Kumar as Christopher Nolan. And our last one is at the Pleasance in March. And look, depending on when this has gone out, it either was incredible fun or it was about to be incredible fun.
Sounds fantastic. Stuart, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.